friends, Miss Ashlee, librarian at the Crystal Lake Public Library, here today with another blow off some steam. Let's make an ice sun catcher. Okay, to get started, we're gonna need some water, which we will freeze and turn into ice, a container to put the ice sun catcher in. I've used a round cake pan and then a small glass Pyrex dish with a lid on. This is gonna help me make a hole in the ice sun catcher, and it'll be easier to put something to hang it up on. And then you're going to need some natural elements to put inside of the ice sun catcher. I went with fruit because then when the ice melts and the fruit drops on the ground, then animals can eat it. You could also use found things in nature like pine cones and leaves and grass, or pine needles, anything like that. You don't want to put anything that would you wouldn't find in nature, because when it melts, it drops on the ground. You don't want to do that, because an animal could come by and eat it, and it's not supposed to be there. It won't break down. So we want to use all natural elements in this. And to make mine easier to work with, I've taken my fruit and I've already frozen it. So I have frozen berries. I have spread these out. I cut them up, cut the strawberries up. I took the berries, I spread them out flat on a little sheet on top of parchment paper. And then I stuck them in the freezer for a few hours so they were nice and frozen. You don't have to, you could use fresh fruit. I just found that they stayed put a little bit better when they were frozen and a little bit heavier. So all you're gonna do is just place the fruit or the other natural elements that you have around in your container. And you can try to make a pattern that you like. When you put the water in though, it is gonna move it a little bit. So I just wanna mention that it won't stay. So you might have to readjust a little bit. So I have strawberry slices, I have some black raspberries, I have some red raspberries, and I also have some blueberries. Okay, so I like that. Now I have my water. And you'll wanna make sure you leave, or you have some space in your freezer to do this, where it can sit flat, and preferably in a time where you're not gonna, if it's in a drawer where it's not gonna be opened a lot, so that it can have time to freeze and set up. So I'm just adding the water in. And I don't wanna add it all the way to the top. It'd be hard to move and I can spill it. Also, I don't need it to be that thick. So I'm doing about halfway up. And you can see my fruit shifted around a little bit. Just gonna wipe this water off. Okay. And I'm just gonna poke some down a little bit. Sometimes the raspberries will stay on top. There you go. And it'll shift a little bit as I carry it to my freezer too. So it's not gonna be an exact design, but I really like it. I think it'll look pretty. So I'm gonna freeze this. I did mine overnight, so about 8 to 12 hours. You could, if you were doing an experiment, you could, make a hypothesis for how long you think it would take to freeze. And then you could check it, maybe every half hour or every hour, depending on your hypothesis, and to see when it's frozen solid, okay? So I have one I've already made and put in the freezer. So what you'll do when you take it out of the freezer is let it sit at room temperature for a few minutes, and then you would remove the container in the middle for the circle, and then I just flipped my cake pan over and then it fell out nicely. You're gonna want some string, yarn, ribbon, something that you can put through the center and tie and hang. So maybe your grown-up has a lot of yarn or ribbon, something strong, or maybe outside in your workshop or garage, there's some twine or other things like that. Any of that will work. That you'll, once this melts, you'll go out and retrieve the string or whatever it is you use to hang it up. So it's okay if it's not natural. All right, so I just looped it around, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it because this is easy to work with, I'm just gonna make a knot like that. All right, and then I will take this outside, hang it in a tree, and as the sun gets to it, it will start to melt. And then it will also show off some of the sun, some of the ice in the sun, it'll sparkle. Now my ice is a little cloudy. Some people like to boil their water before they make ice, and they think it's less cloudy. I have not tried that. If you had extra time and you wanted to give that a try, that would be a good experiment too. And then as the ice melts and the fruit drops, then you can also see what kind of animals come and enjoy the treats. Is it squirrels? Are there birds? Is it something else? All right? I hope you have fun today making this ice sun catcher, and I hope you'll check back here next time for another Blow Off Some Steam. Thank you.